All right, Methodical Man here. Welcome to the video. Today's going to be a little different of a video. Just decided to, I'm going to do a little back testing and just figure why not? Why not record it? And let's kind of show you guys what we're doing. I don't use any type of software to back test. I simply do it myself. I do it manually. So that's what we're going to do here. We're just going to start from Monday of last week. We're going to be on the 1 minute chart, and we're going to kind of be back testing the 1 minute strategy that we've been using. If you're unfamiliar with the strategy, basically what we're looking for is, if we're looking for a long, then we're looking for a high, and then a sweep of a swing low, and then a resweep of the high, and then we would fib the leg that made the high and the low. And we would take the 30% entry off that fib mark. Actually, on the 1 minute, it should be 50%. So it's kind of what we're looking for. As I find an entry, I will go over it. So we're just going to start from the open at 9:30 and kind of go from there. So right here at open, you can see we had a wick down here, so that's a low. Then we had a push up for a high, and then we sold back below the low. So technically speaking, that would be a short opportunity. So that's the leg that we would fib, because this push back up went higher than this. Now it never came back up and tagged us in, as you can see. So that wouldn't have been one that we would have taken. Typically, I kind of like to wait until 10 a.m. anyway, but just trying to give you a small example there. So right here at 10 a.m., we have a low, we have a high, we have a low. So all I'm doing is just checking swing points. And if it just continues to kind of grind up without breaking another low, then there's no trade for us there, because it's just grinding higher. It's not taking liquidity on both sides, if you get what I'm saying. So as long as it's just a high and a low, there's not really much to see. So high, low, high, low, high, low. So that's all I'm looking at. I'm not going to sit here and say that over and over. So anyways, right here is interesting. So we have a high, swing high. We have a small swing low here. Even just this little wick down counts as a swing low. So we broke the high, we broke the low, okay? So if we break back above this high, this now becomes a long entry. So we would fib the leg that made the high and made the low. So from there to there, because this is the original high, that's the swing low, but that doesn't count as a swing low. This is the leg that broke the swing low. So this is the one that broke the high. This is the one that broke the low. We're going to look for a 50% pullback, which we get right here. And then our stop is going to go at the swing low, and our take profits at the swing high. So you can see we get tagged in here. Very little drawdown. And that would have been, we'll call that 9 handles. So that's what we're going to keep up with the wins and losses. We're going to keep up with the handles. Thank you to whoever showed me that tool. I can't remember who it was now, but we appreciate that. That thing has came in handy there. So again, this leg gave us our profit, but that doesn't matter. We're going to look at every single one. So now this is a swing high. This is now your swing low. Did we breach the swing low? Yes, we did. So now, this is why it's important to pay attention to these as you go. You would fib from there to there. This is a smaller setup just after this setup. So now we're looking for the pullback into the 50% mark. After we sweep this low, we got to go back above the high. So this leg is the one that went above the high. Pulls back into the 50% mark and then pushes back up. So this would have been another winner here. So let's just measure. And that's 4 points. Now on this particular setup, you could fib from here, because technically that is another swing high that was created and then the low was created. Either way, it would be a winner. I'm going to take the first setup that I see. So You could have taken either one of these, and it might have been a little bit bigger of a winner, but we'll leave it there. So this push-up gives us our profit. Do we sweep another swing low? We do not. So we continue looking, and we just move on. So far on this day, that's 2 winners and no losers. Typically on the 1 minute chart, as far as I can tell, you usually get about 4 to 6 setups in any given day. So here we have a swing low, a swing high. We needed to create another swing high. So we did not, we didn't breach any swing high here. And guys, this could be a longer video. If you're not interested in watching it, it's fine. But we are going to go over the entire week here, so who knows how long this could go. So anyways, we would have needed to re-breach the swing high for it to be a setup, and we did not. So all we're doing is just watching the swing points here. And you can always tell when there's a setup because when it pushes back up above another swing, so here we have a low. Here we have a swing high. All right. We need to breach this swing high. So we breached it here. So this is the low. This is now the swing high. This is your manipulation leg. So if it comes back below this low, it would become a short. So we're going to fib from there to there, and we'll see if it ever came below the low. And then you don't like the trades when there's this chop in here. You know, like you like it to go ahead and swing below that swing low. And when it chops like this, you may not necessarily like it. But so you can see here, this here did breach below the swing low, and then it pushed back up. Okay, so we would be taking our entry. I guess we could do it this way. Let's move this over so you guys can see. There it is. So we're waiting for the breach of the swing low. This breached the swing low. So we were going to wait for the push back up into the 50. As you can see, it did here. It pushed right back up. Our stop is here, right up here. We'll put a line there so we can see it. So our stop is there, and our take profit, I know where it is, but you guys may not be able to see it there, is there. So breaches the swing low, pushes back up into the 50. Here's the 50. So we get tagged in. Our stop's up here. Does it stop us out? No. Does it re-breach the original swing low? It does. So let's oops, didn't mean to do that. Let's make sure I got that right. All right, we do. So from the 50, let's figure out how much profit we would have got there. That would have been 13 handles in profit. That's a little bit of a wider one. You ignore everything in between. That's what you gotta do. You gotta ignore everything in between. So far, the 1 minute chart is looking pretty solid on Monday. Now, I traded the 15-second chart on Monday, not the 1 minute. So we didn't catch these moves. All right, so let's look at this now. Now we have a swing high here, right? Swing low here. We broke back above the high, because this swing high is higher than this swing high. So swing high, swing low. As soon as we break back above this high, this is now a long setup, and we're going to fib from the low to the high. So even though this is the one this is the leg that gave us our profit, we got to be aware, right? We have to be aware of the next setup. We got to be looking. So as you can see here, tags us in off the 50% mark. So let's measure from here to here, because it tagged us in and went straight to the profit. And that is 14.75. We'll just call that 15 handles. So that's another winner. So all you're doing, like I said, if it's in a trend, and it doesn't break swings, then you're not going to get entries. And I'm looking at the larger, I'm not trying to zoom in here on the 1 minute chart and look at every single small swing. You can, but that's not what I'm trying to do there. So here we have a high. Did we breach a swing low on this move back down? We did. This one. Okay. Did we ever move back above this high though? No. So we know that's not an entry. Low, high, low. So we have a swing high here. We have a swing low. So swing low, swing high, broke back below the low. Swing high. So high, low, high. Just trying to watch here, make sure I'm not missing anything. Am I missing anything here? So we had a swing. That's not a swing high. Okay. That didn't break any swing highs. Okay, that's why I'm confusing myself. So this is the swing high. So we have a low. We have a high. We have another low. Now that's our swing high. So this is our low. This is our high. If we break back below the low, then it would be a short. So you can see right here at the end of the day, it broke back below the low, but it didn't offer us anything else. So Monday, we ended up getting 4 entries on Monday, all winners on Monday there. So now we're going to move over to Tuesday. And I've seen on the 1 minute chart, based on what I know, it's running at about the same 70-ish % win rate, somewhere in there. That's news, obviously, there. Some news. And these ones that you see the fibs on, these are ones I probably took on the lower time frame and just never took the fib off. Excuse me. So here's our open. So we're just going to start looking right here at the open. Oops, dropping my water. Let's see. As long as we're just making higher highs and higher lows, then there's not really much to see. High, low, a lower low. So we have a high, we have a swing low, we have a lower low. Okay. So this would be our manipulation leg for a long. If you see how that forms there. So we have the high first. We have a low, but this didn't break any swing low behind it. So we need it to come back up and re-break this swing low, which is what it did. So from this setup, we're looking for price to move back above the high in order for it to be valid, which it did here. Come back to the 50% line and then move back above this high, which it did. So it comes back down, tags us in, goes. So let's measure our winner. 20 handles. 20 handles there. So you can see the power of this setup here, right? You can see the power of it. So this is the one that gave us our profit. So now we have a swing high, swing low. Just because you just took a trade here, we're still looking, right? Swing high, swing low, or a low. Did we break a swing high? Okay, check this out, guys. So you have this now is a low, swing low. We broke a swing low. We have a high. We broke this small swing high. So if this breaches this low, this is now a short setup. And that's how fast they can come, right? So you have to be very, very aware of every single opportunity that you get here. So as soon as it moves below this low, this is now a short. Pulls back up into the 50, tags us in, runs to the profit. So let's measure from the 50 to there. That's 16 handles. 16 handles in profit right there. And this is not me doing anything crazy, guys. This is just me just watching the price action using the information that we have. We have a low. We have a high, right? We move back below the low. That's another setup, but we're not tagged in. You can see we could fib here, but you're not tagged in. Is that right? Yeah. You're not tagged in on this one. You're not tagged in yet anyway. Let's see if anything else. If any other setup occurs below this, then we would take that instead of this. And I think that's what happened here. So let's zoom in a little bit. We have a low, swing high, but this didn't break any other swing high, right? Another low, swing high. So now this one broke this one. So this is now our manipulation leg for here, for this short. So now we need to break this low, which we did here, comes back up, tags us in. Now, do we make it back to our take profit? Let's take a look. It's going to be very, very close. Very, very close. Does not look like we did. So in this case, this would be a loser. So let's measure. 11.5 handles. We're just going to round up. We'll call that 12. All right. Now what happens behind us here? I like to leave these fibs on because sometimes an unmitigated area price will come back to. So what happens here? If we would have left our order here, price comes back up, tags us in. This is a loser. So let's measure because we would have taken this one. You have to be objective here. You gotta take all the wins and all the losses. So that one would have stopped us out. So that would have been back-to-back losers. Sometimes that's going to happen. I mean, that feathered our stop loss there. I mean, our take profit, I think we were 1 tick away. So that one does kind of hurt. But that's just a part of the game. You got to take them all. So high, low, high, low, high, broke a low. So then once you see that deviation, then you know to be aware for a setup here. So we have a high. We have a low broken. So if we move back above the high, we're going to be looking for a long setup. Okay. So let's measure our manipulation leg here. So we moved above, pulled back, tagged us in, stopped us out pretty much immediately. Okay. So let's measure. 7.75. We're going to call that 8 on Tuesday here. 2 winners, 3 losers so far. Now what happens? This is where you really got to pay attention. So now you have a low. We have a high. Now, if we're stopped out, this now becomes a short setup immediately. So you have to be aware of this, right? You have a low. You have a high. Once it moves back below the low, this is now short. So now you measure your manipulation leg from this direction. What's the problem here? Does it come back and get us at the 50? It does not. It does not come back and get us at the 50. So unfortunately, we would not have capitalized on this one. Well, let's zoom out here. I don't believe we would have left this one on that long because this would be from 1, 2 o'clock. Actually, we may have. We'll leave that one on just in case. You know, obviously we see it comes back. But let's see if we get any other setups down here. We do not. Zoom out. Because now you have a high, you have a low. And so this is why you put these on. So we will, we would have left this one on. We would have been tagged in here. So let's go ahead and measure it. Let's be very objective here. 10. Let's just try to keep it as close to 100 as we can. But we were zoomed in on price there. Now, as we zoom out, what do we got here? We have a high. We have a low. So now this is a larger leg on the 1 minute chart, right? Let's take that one off. That's a larger leg on the 1 minute chart. Does it come back to the 50 though? It does not. You have a high here. You have a low. High, low, high, low. Never came back above this high. So you got to be aware of these larger zones. So now this is your actual fib. High, low, re-breaches the high, pulls back, blasts the 50. Does it go back above our target? Yes, it does. So now this is a winner. 40 handles. So you have to be aware. You got to be, you can't just be zoomed in all close. You really got to be able to see the entire picture here on the 1 minute chart. Alrighty. And that was going into the end of the day there, actually. Actually, let's look. Would we have gotten that profit? Let's see. Yeah, So that's the end of the day. Let's move on to Wednesday. So Tuesday there, 3 winners, 4 losers. Kind of came back down to earth there a little bit after those nice days on Monday and Tuesday there. That's going to happen, though. It's not much you can do about it. All right, we're going to move on over to Wednesday here. Got to update my sheet here. I'm keeping up with this over here off screen. So once again, guys, I have no idea how long this video is going to be. This is just me doing what I do. So starting off the day with a swing low, we make a swing high. We move back below the low here. So this would be our manipulation leg. All right. Does it tag us in here? Does not. Do we have any other setups in here? We don't. Now, like I said, we would leave this on here. Does price revisit the 50? It does indeed. This is why you leave these on, so you can see them. Does it hit our target? It does indeed. So let's measure. Actually, I don't need that. I don't know why I did that. So we measure from the 50 line to our target. I mean, I guess we can. Yeah, we'll use this. So that is 18 handles. Is that right? Did I do that right? Let's double check. Yeah, 18. We'll call it 18. Okay. Now we're going to stay zoomed out here a little bit because what's happening? What do we see here? Yes, this was a setup for us, right? Came back in, tagged us in, gave us our profit. But what happened though? It moves above this high. So we got to be aware. So now we have a high, we have a low, re-breaches the high here. So we got to keep our eyes peeled here and be aware. This might be one that we didn't want to see, but we see it nonetheless. So do we get tagged in here? Yes, we do. Tags us in. Does it go to the profit target though? It does not. Doesn't make it to it. So let's measure. 20 handles. So that'd be a loser. And again, guys, we're taking every setup that we see. That's what you're supposed to be doing with this in particular strategy. Now we're still looking in here though, because this could still make other setups in here. All right. Because now what do we have? Now we have a low. Now we have a high that breached that high. So as soon as it stopped us out on this trade, it now becomes a short. So you have to be aware of that. So this is the manipulation leg for the short. But we never get tagged in on it. Never tags us in there. We leave that on there just in case price revisits later on in the day, which it does not. So we can see that now. We can go ahead and just take it off so that we're not confused there. So you got to kind of be looking at the big picture as well. So now we have a low. This low breached this swing low. We have a swing high. So if we came back above that high, it would be a short. We did not. So you're just looking for legs that manipulate other legs. That's all you're looking for here. So right here we have a low, swing high. This swing low got breached. So now we have a high, a low. If we came back above the high, it would be a long. But if it does not, then let's see, a low, a high. So as soon as it breaches this low, this now becomes a short setup on this wider leg here. If you can see there, this is a swing low, that's a swing high. Price moves away from it. There's no other setups below here. So does price revisit this area? Yes, it does. So as price revisits the area, we get tagged in here. So we get tagged in right here, and our target is here. So does it run to our target? Yes, it does. Do we get stopped out? It's very close, but we do not. And you see that wick does not get us. It's close, but it doesn't. So this is, in fact, a winner. So let's go ahead and measure. I'm just looking. Is this right? Oh, I guess I could just measure it that way, huh? Okay, anyway, 16 handle winner. 16 handle winner there. So let's go ahead and take this off. And now we have a high. We have a low. So once we move back above this high, this now would become a long setup. Let's see. Well, high, low, never went above. Low, high, moved above. Okay, didn't get tagged in there. All right, let's see here. High, low, high, low, high, low, high. High, low. Okay, just trying to pay attention here, make sure I'm not missing anything. So that would have been the manipulation leg there for this setup. We would have gotten tagged in and then stopped out for a loss on this one. 25 handles. Just trying to make sure we take every one, guys, is really what I'm trying to look at here. Trying to make sure we take every one into account. That goes into the end of the day there. So that's Wednesday. 2 winners, 2 losers on Wednesday. So now we're going into Thursday. So far in the week, I don't know if we are up or down. I have no idea. No idea. Guess we'll find out at the end of the week, right? So coming into Thursday's action. High, low, high. That's our manipulation leg. Comes back down, tags us in here at open. Goes above the target. So let's take a measure. 29 handles there on Thursday, starting off good. Never moves back above the high. Low, high. Low, high, low. So technically this would be a setup. I don't know that. Yeah, I wouldn't have got tagged in on it. Didn't look like it. Not there. Low, high. I hate to keep saying that over and over, guys. I don't want to just sit here and be quiet, though, is the only thing. So low, high, never made another low yet. Once it makes the low, though, let's see here. Low. All right, so this is a little bit of a setup. I don't know if I would, I'm not sure if we would take this one, but let's put it over here anyway. So we get tagged in. Trying to take everyone I see. If I see it, I'm going to put it on here. So might miss some here and there. I'm not sure. Probably is the same way when you're trading. You're not going to see them all. You're not going to see them all. You know, you really could just wait for the these bigger swings too if you wanted to kind of play out. Might make more sense to just take the bigger swings, but all right, zoom in here a bit because we have a high or kind of a grinding lower, a low, a high, a low, a high, and then we broke the low. A low, a high, and then we broke the low. So that would be a short setup. So would we have gotten tagged in? Yep. Does it go to the private target? Not quite. And then it stops us out. So let's see what that is. 15 handles, basically. And then once it moves back above this high, this is actually a long setup from that spot. So let's look at that. Right there. Do we get tagged in? We don't. Maxie. We indeed do not get tagged in on that particular setup. And that takes us into the end of the day there. So Thursday, only three trades. One winner, two losers on Thursday. So let's move into Friday's action. Kind of see what we get here. Friday's action was pretty rough. Pretty rough. So going into open, we have a high. We have a low. You can just see this rangy action on Friday. A low, a high. So if we go back below the low, which we did, then that's a short setup. Does it stop us out? So it comes below the low, tags us in. Does it stop us out? Nope. Do we hit profit? Yep. So let's measure. 25. Low. So this is the one that hit our profit. Then it starts to push up. Double tops there. I think it does run that little swing by 1 or 2 ticks. So let's see. High, low, high. This is a setup here. Now this might be one that does not get taken, but I mean it ran it by just 1 tick. We don't get tagged in anyway. It does not come back to the 50% line there to get us. So we do not get tagged in. Low, high, swing low. And don't think we get tagged in there either. Well, actually, let's see. So price would have went up. Was there any other setups in this arm? Nope. And 322. We sold off right here going into the close. We get tagged in right here. Does it stop us out? It does not. Does it give us the profit? Yes, it does right at close. So let's go ahead and measure that. From there to there. 15. So Friday only offered 2 setups, as choppy as action was on Friday. Only offered us 2 setups there. What can you do? All right, let's go ahead and add up the winners and the losers. This may take me 1 second here, guys. And I'm going to do it on based on the days of the week here. So on Monday, we made 41 handles. Tuesday, we made 20 plus 16 plus 40 minus 12, 11, 8, 10. So Tuesday, we made 35 handles. Wednesday, 18 plus 16 minus 45. Wednesday, we lost money. We lost 11 handles on Wednesday. Thursday, I think we lost money as well. We lost 10 handles on Thursday. And then Friday, we made money. 40 handles on Friday. Let's go for our weekly total. Now, again, guys, this is only 1 week, right? In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't mean that much, but this is just 1 week. So 95 handles in profit. If you took 1 contract, you would have made $1,900 if you took every trade that we outlined there. So let's check out the win percentage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 wins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 12 wins, 8 losses. So if we go 12 wins divided by 20, 60%. So that's last week's back test on the 1 minute chart. I don't know if this is something that interests you guys to watch or not, but just figured we'd throw one out there and see how it goes. 60% win percentage, $1,900 using 1 contract. It's not a bad week. You could up that size to 2 contracts and, make that a much larger week. Scale it up as needed. But just figured I'd throw this video out there, see if you guys like it. Leave a comment down below if you do. If you don't, that's fine. If you guys are interested in trading futures, we do have 90% off APEX, Bulenox, 60% off Topstep. If you do use Topstep, please use my link. If you do purchase new accounts, it does help. We did start a Discord. The link for the Discord is in the description as well. It is behind a small paywall, $10 a month. And that has a lot of strategies in there, and I'm adding indicators every day. It's literally going to have hundreds of indicators in there that'll be free to you guys. You certainly don't have to do that, but it does help to support the channel. Right now, there's not a whole lot in there, but we're going to be adding more daily. This afternoon, I should drop a lot more content in there. So thank you guys for watching. We will be live 3 a.m. Eastern and 9:15 a.m. Eastern for the New York session. So we'll see you guys then.